Hello and welcome to another video from Alberta Bushcrafter. My name's Dean and this is another unboxing. It seems to be I tend to stock up a bit on gear in the winter. Now it's the last week of March, last weekend in March. And as you can see, we've had more snow. It is about 2 degrees Celsius, maybe 35, 36. You're also going to hear, I hope, you're going to hear some of the crows coming back because they seem to be the first birds that arrive every year. But, okay, you've seen me do several videos on stoves. And there's another big one coming I'm going to add. And it's a stove of a completely different kind and color. But that may be a bit of time from now. But, so I actually bought the little MSR canister stove. It actually fits. One canister, or actually 2 canisters, will fit inside this, which is the Stanley little cook set. So after doing that, I realized, yeah, canister stoves are, you know, they're cheap, but they're also not that versatile. I got one, it was more for emergencies and if I ever decide to go really ultralight. And I figured that my MSR WhisperLite stove, beautiful stove that it is now 28 years old. And 28 years, that's a cost per year of I think $4 or $5 a year for a camp stove. So I figured I could actually go get a new one. So this time I decided to go old school, and boy oh boy is this old school. Here it is. This is the Optimus SVEA stove. And this is as simple as it gets, almost, for a liquid-fueled stove. You get the nice box and directions. There's not much to it. So we'll start off, just have a look at this. Comes with a small pot. Make sure you put the handle upside down or it doesn't grab right, or you're bending the heck out of it. So that's a small pot, and when I say small, it's, you know, a little over a cup. The stove itself, well, it comes with a key for adjusting. It's got a windscreen here. We'll take a look at that quickly. I haven't quite figured out how to get the key working nice. I'm going to tell you, this is not a virgin unboxing. I have played with this. But there's your windscreen. There are pot stands that rotate in or out. So we'll hold a slightly larger pot. I have tried my GSI Pinnacle Base Camp pots on this, and it's fairly stable. It's all right. It is one thing, there is nothing on the bottom to hold it, but what I discovered is you can use there's a canister holder for the little tiny ultralight stoves, and it actually fits on the bottom of this. So that'll be coming in this kit. Yeah, and you'll see how I get the kit all worked out in a bit. So anyways, it says it's a 1.8 liter reservoir in here, white gas, but you fill it 2/3 full, so it's about, 0.12 liters. And 0.18 liters. So not even a cup of fuel in here, and it goes for an hour. But take a look at the design. It's very, very simple. It is a burner, a valve, a tank, and this bit here is the stove generator. So one of the things you have to do, unfortunately, is you have to prime this stove. And it is best to do that like so. Yeah, very carefully. So these are not terribly volatile, as in they're not going to explode in your face or anything like that. But do read the directions because they do take a bit of a learning curve. So, what I like to use, if I have it here, no, I don't have it here. I'm going to be right back. And now I feel quite silly. What I was looking for was this. This is Coughlin's Fire Paste. Great priming gel for this stuff. And it was actually sitting beside me all the time, so I just wasted 5 minutes of light. But we're going to try this. So the deal is, you get a priming paste, or you can use liquid fuel, just be careful. I just put a decent glob on there, both sides. This stuff lasts a while. It's $5. It's not a bad idea to keep it in your kit. Although, again, I don't know if you could put a bunch of this in a little go tube or something. I will experiment so you don't necessarily have to. But you know, and as you can hear, I live in the country. I'm not 100% in the bush. That's to my right and behind me. So here's just an ordinary, get that key out of the way, ordinary Coughlin's match. This is what they call their stormproof match. I like this because it, you know, it's enough to light this thing in one shot. And to be honest, I have the Yuko rather, stormproof matches, which is why I'm getting rid of these guys. I'm usually going to have, in the stove kit normally, I'll keep a box of the Yuko stormproof. Now you put the striker inside the case and it's all good. But here it is. You can see it is warming up. So this is going to burn for a minute. And then when it burns down, what's happening is the fuel is actually going to start to vaporize, which is quite cool. This leaves a bit of ash and residue. You can blow it off if you want. And this is such a good stove. I'm doing this on my canvas tabletop here. So we'll just wait for this. And we'll be back in a moment. Okay, so the stove is lit. And as you can see down here, it's going. And you can actually hear it's crow season. They all seem to come back last weekend in March, and that's when we are. So anyways, you get the windscreen down. You give it a twist. Watch your fingers. You may want to wear gloves. I am looking across from me at a flock of about 4 or 5 of them. They might come right over camera and disturb us. I'm not a huge fan of crows. So, next thing you do is you hunt around for a little key. You wait. It's going to start burning down. Then you just open it up. You can hear it already. So what happens is it preheats the burner and let the paste burn down. Cut it down a little bit. The nice thing is with this stove, there's no pumping. Nothing. It's just an old design. It's got a vent in it. It's probably got a Venturi jet or something. I don't actually know the science behind it. But you can see here, you can hear it sort of picking up and slowing down. There it went out. So when you're fussing with it, and you're me, always have a match handy in case you have to relight it. That doesn't make too much noise, but you're hearing it. Get this closer to the lens. Let's see. There it goes. So I figure rolling at it. Great little stove. Very, very light. Well, not terribly light. Figured while we're here, why not try a bit of a boil test? So we'll go half a liter. Tool comes in handy. For pushing the pot stands back in. Okay, so here we go. I am not going to put you through the whole thing. I'm going to pause for a minute. We'll get back to this. Alright, so you got a train going by, so I'll hope this microphone picks me up well enough. But yeah, here is a nice close-up of the stove in action, and it is very small. You know, that's about a little bit bigger than a GSI mug, and you can probably store it in one of those. But there we go. You can see the burner is just cherry red. And the water is, we're 4 minutes gone now, and the water is just about coming to a boil. You can see the steam coming out the top here. Maybe. Okay, there. It's half a minute later. You can see, I hope steam is just pouring out of that thing. Oh yeah, it's boiling. You can see. Well, not anymore. Let's boil it up again. Yeah. I will show you another thing about the stove. Okay. As you can take it almost right down to a simmer. I gotta turn it off and let it cool off for a minute. All right, it is getting a little dark now. So, that's hard to believe. That burner is still scorching hot, but the windscreen is not. So I'm going to remove that for a second. When you're done, that fire paste leaves a bit of residue. The other thing you can do is you can actually prime it with actual fuel, but that can be a little more dangerous. These are not for everybody. And I just got ash all over my nice tabletop here. That was not well thought through. Anyways, though, you can see that's all it is, just a little burner. The other thing is, to clean it, you turn the key all the way to the left a few times, and there's a needle that punches up through the valve. It's actually one of the first needle valves on any stove. This design is over 100 years old, I might add. One of the nice things is you can get a really good deal on these. I got this on clearance. Some guys in Ontario were clearing it out of their store. Normally you see them for 170 or 200 bucks on Amazon or more. You know my feelings about that. Yeah, still warm, but yeah, still a bit warm. Good enough, though, to show you something else. The stove handle fits in there with the key. And I wanted to prove something to myself here. No, it will not fit in a GSI cup, but a GSI cup will fit over it. So if you want to do away with a little pot, actually get a GSI Glacier mug, and that's about 490 milliliters in there, almost half a liter, and it fits nicely, and it'll actually sit on there beautifully. I am going to put the little aluminum stove cover / pot though, and show you. One of the things I don't like is carrying a stove inside the pack. So I picked up this, and it's actually the perfect size. This is a Condor utility pouch. Take the gloves off for this. You could fit the Stanley pot and stove in there. I have a few of these, but it is what it says. It's a utility pouch. It's actually got 2 compartments in there. I'm just going to use the one. And I have one of these for my Nalgene fuel bottles as well. I was looking for different cases. This is a perfect fit. Nice draw cord on the side. That snugs it right down. Tuck in the cord, just because. And there you go. I was using other cases for this. This is actually one of the older style Condor pouches, and it works just great. Fairly waterproof. Well, you're not going to dunk it. But then again, the stove is self-enclosed. Yeah, if you get it wet, just fire it up. So, that has been introduction to my latest camp stove, the SVEA stove. Like I said, I got it at less than $100, so compare that with a brand new MSR or one of the Optimus multi-fuel stoves at $150. I think I got an okay deal because I mostly go on light gas anyways. It's not really technically ultra light, but it is very light. And the nice thing is I kind of like them with the tank. The only thing is you don't want to use a fully enclosed windscreen, because since the tank's under the stove, that could cause flare-ups and possibly explosions. That's the same thing with the little propane canister stoves as well. But yeah, partly open, you should be okay. Just keep it a fair bit away from the stove. I did test it by blowing on it very hard while this was going, and it stayed lit. Alright, so that's been the overview and unboxing of my new Optimus SVEA stove. It's a keeper. I'm hanging on to it. When you guys see in a few weeks, or in an upcoming video, what I'm using for bigger cookouts, you'll see this one's just fine as a backup. I'll use this for lightweight camping. I'll use the canister stove for ultralight. But the other one I have is a BioLite stove, and that's a different stove altogether. That's my main stove right now. But needed a new camp stove. Got a good deal on it. There we go. Oh, and yeah, I'm putting in the canister stove base in here as well when I get inside. I just don't have it with me. Alright, so this has been another video from Alberta Bushcrafter. I want to thank you very much for watching. Take care, and good day.